All right. What's up, everybody? Good morning. So if you haven't noticed, we're doing things a little bit different today. These are all of our 8th grade squad leaders, or at least most of them. And I asked them if they would come and answer some questions for me. So the purpose of today, these guys have done middle school and they've done it well. And they are graduating, going off to high school to be high schoolers. But all of these people, these 7 people on these couches, spent a lot of time pouring into this ministry and pouring into some of you even. And so I just want to ask them kind of some thoughts about what they learned here while they were in 6, 7, 8, and just have a time to kind of celebrate that. So that's what we're doing today. To start us off, if you guys would introduce yourselves. So tell us who you are, what middle school you went to, and what high school you will be going to.
I'm Sarah Nicholson. I went to Autry Middle School, and I'm going to be going to North Cobb High School.
I'm Josie Hoover. I went to Adairsville Middle School in 6th and beginning of 7th grade, and about halfway through 7th grade I started homeschooling, and I will homeschool through Liberty University Online Academy through high school.
I'm Kate Honecker, and I went to Sammy McClure Middle School, and then I'll go to North Cobb Christian High School.
I'm Knox Honecker. I went to McClure Middle School, and I'm going to North Cobb Christian High School.
My name is Sam Swanson, and I went to North Cobb Christian Middle School, and I'm going to North Cobb Christian High School.
My name's Delaney, and I went to Durham, and I'm going to Allatoona.
My name is Peyton Michael, and I went to Durham, and I'm going to Allatoona.
Awesome. Sweet. So just to get us started, first question, number 1, what is your favorite thing about 6, 7, 8?
My favorite thing is the people and the connections you can make. I really liked, because you can make friends with just about anyone of any age, like not just my peers, but like high school students and college students and some of the adults that work here at church. And some of the friendships have been really eye-opening. They've helped me find myself in my faith and what my faith means to me. And so the people have been that for me.
So I was on the worship team all 3 years of middle school, and I loved getting to be a part of that team just because of how much I was poured into spiritually and just the friendships that I made and just how I learned how to worship and just be a part of making God's kingdom grow.
My favorite part about 6, 7, 8 was how involved you can be. You can do production, you can greet, you can be a host, you can do all kinds of things no matter what age.
My favorite part was probably hanging out with my friends on Sundays, like Sam, that I don't go to school with him, but I can see friends that I don't even go to school with every Sunday.
My favorite part was probably just squads and like meeting new friends here. Kind of like what Sarah said, you can have friends that are in college here, that are in high school here, because I have some friends here in 6, 7, 8, but I also have a good bit of friends that are all in HSM, so it's just really nice to have those friendships.
My favorite part was getting to know all the leaders and having a good relationship with all of them.
Yeah, Kate, you mentioned your favorite part was serving some of the stuff. So what are all of the opportunities that you've served and done?
I've been a host and a greeter.
Host, greeter, squad leader?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's good. Just saying, shameless plug. All right, next thing. What is something, so kind of think back to your entire time in middle school. This can be something from 6, 7, 8 specifically, or just something that you learned. Sam, I know you go to a Christian school, so it could be something you learned there. But looking back over the past 3 years, what is one thing that you learned about God? Something that you learned that you're taking with you to focus on the rest of your life?
I've learned that He is always working through people. He's always working through your friends in this ministry and your family, and it's just really cool to watch that happen.
That God views sin all the same, even if, because a lot of times in school and stuff, people will judge you for things that you do, but God views it all the same.
I've learned that in the moment, God's plan for you might feel really unfair and it might hurt a lot, but you just have to be patient with it and let it run its course, and eventually it'll turn out to be something amazing, and you're going to be like, wow, why was I complaining about this? This has opened so much for me.
One thing that I learned is this year in my Bible class, my Bible teacher, he taught me that no matter what it is or what you do, God will always have an unconditional love for you, and he's always he always accepts you, and there's like a way to work things out if something bad happens, but no matter what it is, God will always be there and love you.
I remember my first time in 6th, 7th, 8th, and 6th grade, the very first sermon series that I heard, Chris was still speaking. He was still the middle school pastor, and he did a sermon series on how to worship a king. And I just remember learning that worship isn't just what we just saw on stage a few minutes ago. It's not just singing. It's not just leading from a platform. Worship is, it should be an everyday thing we do. Everything we do should be an act of worship towards God, because God is all-powerful, and he is holy, and he's the one who put breath into our lungs, and he's the one who who created us, and so everything we do, he is with us in everything we do, so we should be doing it for him and worshiping him in that.
Jesse, you served on the worship team all 3 years that you've been here. What is one thing that being on the worship team, leading peers, people that you spend time with, leading them in worship, what's one thing that you learned from that time?
Well, I learned how to be a leader, how to lead other people in worship, because, like I said, worship isn't just standing on a platform. When I lead people in worship, I try to worship myself, or not worship myself, but y'all know what I mean.
You're worshiping here.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
And
Worshiping as well as everyone else.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's
there
it. Sorry, but just being able to lead other people in worship and use my talents to glorify God and to help other people glorify God in that.
Yeah. All right, so kind of, again, same question, but shifting the focus here. We talked about God, looking upward. Now look inward at yourself. What's something that you have grown in or you have learned yourself over these 3 years?
I know that I learned how to prioritize my faith over my friends. My friends are very important to me, but in the end, God is who I will be spending the rest of my life with. So I want to be devoted to Him and know how to turn to Him in times of darkness. And so I really learned how to act through my faith instead of act on through the people I'm hanging out with.
Wait. I forgot that.
It's okay, I got it.
Okay, I remember. So what I was going to say is that something that you need to know is
That's right.
Come back to me.
Yeah, we'll come back to you. Anybody else? What's something
I
you
got it.
learned about yourself? School?
So one thing that over the last year that Wilson said every week, a question Wilson asked every week last semester, is what are you going to do with the gospel? And I've really taken that question to heart. And you can say you're a Christian, you can act like a Christian, go to church, do all the things. But when it comes down to it, what are you going to do with the gospel? Are you just going to sit on it if somebody doesn't know about Jesus and his story? And are you going to tell people about it and open up an opportunity for salvation for them? And I think my answer to that question is I'm going to go wherever God leads me, and I feel like that has sharing the gospel in it. So I'm going to tell everybody I can about Jesus.
So if you are like struggling with a bad habit or a bad addiction and there's just really no way for you to quit, if you try to bring God into your life or put him before and really try your best to like, instead of whatever the addiction or habit was, instead of doing that, trying to read just read scripture, there's certain scriptures for it that'll be better than others, but if you just read that, it can really help you like get away from it, and like it can just help you grow closer to him, and it will help yourself because you'll feel like a much better person after you quit the addiction or the habit.
One of the things that, like in squad leader training, I've been a squad leader for 2 years, and it stuck with me that Wilson has said is to be the thermostat, not the thermometer, and like that's really just stuck with me. And like Wednesday nights, and that like you set the temperature, and that that like the way you react to things, people like see that, and they see even in school and stuff, like the way you handle situations and the way you present yourself really matters.
Yeah.
I've learned how important it is to kind of what Delaney was saying, like be a good example, because even though sometimes you might not see it, there's like a lot of 6th and 7th graders looking up to you, and what you do can really impact what they do.
Yeah. All right, so to switch it up a little bit, to have a little bit of fun, what is either your funniest story or memory that you have, or maybe like a favorite moment, like a highlight of your time, 6, 7, 8?
So back when we were going into 7th grade at Fuge, I was with a big group of people, and we were walking to lunch, and I was like walking forwards, but I was like looking to the side talking to people, and there was a door that had opened in front of me, and it was maybe 3 or 4 inches thick of just straight metal, and I ran right into it with the side of my head, and I fell down in front of a lot of people, and it was really embarrassing. And it wasn't even just my friends I fell down in front of. There was like other people there from other churches that all saw it, so it's pretty embarrassing.
They probably tell stories about it. You remember that guy who ran into the door? Yeah. That's good.
Earlier in this year, I got asked to do an Instagram reel with Wilson and Sarah, and that was it was funny seeing all the pictures of Wilson at school and stuff.
Yeah, shameless plug. If you're not following our Instagram, what are you doing? We've got some good stuff happening over there.
My favorite memory was probably during squad training. What was that game called we were playing at the beginning?
Signs.
I remember we were playing that, and Delaney could not figure out who had it at all. And we would go on for 5-10 minutes, and she could not figure out who it was.
That's good.
My favorite memory was probably all the closers we did, and then the silent disco on Valentine's Day.
My favorite memory is probably from Level Up Camp when we went tubing last year, and some people were on a bridge and they had attached a fake snake to a fishing rod, and they were throwing it on people's tubes, and people would start freaking out because they thought that was a snake, and it was so just funny to watch.
Yeah, if you're coming to Level Up, beware rubber snakes.
And
And real ones too, I guess. Yeah, that's a good thought.
Yep. One of the funniest memories I remember, it was in 6th grade at Closer. They had a dunk tank, and I'm not sure if some of the 6th and 7th graders in here know Elise, but she used to be in Laura's position. And she was in the dunk tank, and she had her snow cone in the dunk tank with her. And I guess she didn't think anybody was going to knock her in. But when somebody hit the thing and knocked her in, she fell in with her snow cone, except the entire top half of the snow cone came flying off into the water, apart from the rest of it. And it was just really funny.
What? So you guys have been squad leaders for at least a semester. Some of you guys multiple years. What made you want to be a squad leader in the first place? What was it for you as a 6th grader, 7th grader who is sitting there attending a Wednesday night? What made you say, "Oh, I want to do that"?
For me, it was my older sister Hannah and one of my really close friends Alexa. Both of them ran the squad very well. I was in their squad. They made it feel like a safe environment where we could all laugh or have some pretty deep conversations, not just about our faith, but also about like things going on at home and at school and with our friends. And I just really wanted to create that in my own squad, and that made me want to do that for other people.
Yeah, and I'll add to that. I was in the same group. Alexa and Hannah were great squad leaders. They were amazing, and just everything they did for the group, they cared so deeply about the group, and not just about our spiritual needs, but about our emotional needs and our physical needs. And they really did care, and they listened, and they would talk to you. And I've always had a leadership mind. I've always wanted to be a leader wherever I was, but that was just their leadership and seeing how they led that group so well, and just so compassionately, if that's a word, I guess. Just seeing that is really just what pushed me into really wanting to be a squad leader in 7th and 8th grade.
Last semester, I had some of the best squad leaders, Kate and Delaney. They helped me so much. They made me realize like I wanted to be a squad leader. I also had Rowan my first 2 years, so 6th and 7th grade, I'm pretty sure. And she just made the whole environment feel so safe, and like we could talk about anything. She connected everything with our lives, and it was just like, it made me realize I wanted to do that with like the younger people in 6, 7, 8 and help them with that.
For me, over the course of 6th and 7th grade, I had both Willow and Rowan. And I loved my squad group because it was so cool to see how they had such an impact on me and everybody else in the squad group. And that just made me want to be a squad leader so I could have that kind of an impact on my squad group.
Rowan's over there, by the way. She's awesome.
So back when I started coming here in 6th grade, my parents had wanted me to come to squads since I didn't really know anybody, and they wanted me to meet more people. And I didn't really want to do it, so they ended up making me go, so I ended up going, and I met Braylon, and Braylon was my squad leader for 2 years before he moved up to high school. And he just had a really big impact on me with making more friends and coming closer to God. And I just really wanted to be a squad leader so I could also do that and like have an impact on other people and get them closer with their friends and to help them get closer with God.
Yeah, sweet. Next question. What is one piece of advice that you would give to our current 6th and 7th graders? So what is one thing you wish you knew when you were in their shoes? What is one piece of advice that you've learned along the way that you want them to know as well?
As like 6th graders or like rising 6th graders going into middle school and even going into 7th grade, you normally get like sucked up into like the wrong group of people at school, like the people that lead you down the wrong path. Just make sure to find those people that will help you go down a path to make your relationship with God better. I found some of my best friends at church, and they've just led me in a great way.
Yeah, and I'll add to that. I know people get tired of adults saying like, "Oh, your friends matter. Like, choose the right friends." But it really does matter because who you hang out with is who you become. You really start just taking on the actions and the mannerisms of the people that you hang out with, and choosing good people to be friends with, and not only to be friends with, not only good people, but like godly people. There's a huge difference between just good and godly people, because good people, good friends take things from just worldly morals and worldviews, but godly friends take things from just God and from God's word in the Bible, and it really just it helps you spiritually when you have somebody who can hold you accountable spiritually and just help hold you up, and that you can just hold each other accountable and just do life together.
One of my big things is just involving yourself with a lot of people and in different groups and like going to Level Up Camp, and even like if you don't know people, that like you're gonna meet like a lot of good people from putting yourself out there and doing new things.
To add on that, yeah, get involved with like everything you can. They really won't say no. I was a host, a greeter, and a squad leader, and if there were more ways for me to get involved, I 100% would have. I made some really good connections with adults that are involved at the church, and they've helped me grow in my faith, and I think it's just a great experience anyone can have, and you won't regret it if you do decide to get more involved in your church.
Don't let anybody tell you you can't do something, because I know all of y'all are capable of doing great things.
Some advice I would give is like to 6th graders and 7th graders, don't like waste your days away like being like, oh, I can't wait till I'm in 7th grade. I can't wait till I'm in 8th grade. Life will be so great then. But once you get here, then you like miss the old days. Like I miss 6th grade because everything was like more fun things. Everything was brand new. You just miss back then. So enjoy the time you have now because you're making those memories now.
Yeah. Last question. What is the thing you'll miss most about 6, 7, 8?
So the thing I'm going to miss most about 6, 7, 8 is definitely one of the things is going to be squads. That's probably going to be the thing I miss most because it's really helped me come closer to God and make more friends. Like, I met Knox at squads, and now we've been friends for like 3 years, and it just really is nice to have people here that I know that I can like trust and I'm really close to. I'm also going to miss the leaders like Wilson. Wilson's had a huge impact on me. Same with Chris. I don't think Chris is in here, but they both have been two of my pastors, and it's just really nice to like have a good relationship with them and just know that if I need anything, I can go to them.
Yeah, what Sam said. Squads is a great time to like get deeper in with like your friends and leaders. Like I got to know Wilson more during squads, and I got to know Sam more during squads. So it's a great time to like learn more about the friends you're with.
I would definitely say squads and Wilson's preaching. That was my favorite part of 6, 7, 8. But I'm also going to say my leaders, like Sarah and Laura, they helped me so much through middle school. But thankfully, they'll be in high school with me.
I would definitely say my leaders, like, we've had a bunch of different ones, but they all, no matter how long they've been with us, they've all poured into us and helped us get closer to God.
Yeah, I'm going to miss squads and my squad group and all my 6th grade squad girls. And I'm going to miss my leaders, of course, and Wilson, and 6, 7, 8 in general.
I'm really going to miss the leaders here because just every time I've had something that I needed to go to somebody with or had a problem or something I needed to talk to somebody about, there was always one leader or another here who was ready to just to listen, to talk to me about it, but really just to listen when I needed that most. And I just love the leaders here and how much they have helped me and pour into me. And if, just so you guys know, if you're ever in a position where you feel like you can't talk to anybody about something, but you do need to, there's always a leader here who is ready to listen to you and to talk to you about it and give you good, godly advice that you can trust.
I'd say I'm gonna miss being a squad leader. This year was my first year being a squad leader, and I wish I could have done it in 6th and 7th grade. But it's really just my squad has made me want to pour into my faith, so I can pour onto them and have them grow in their faith. And my squad was just, they were so amazing and behaved well. And even though it was a small group of us, they really opened up, and throughout the year, I got to see them grow, and not just in their faith, but as a person. I'm also really going to miss the people I've built relationships with, like Laura. She's really helped me and encouraged me to always do more and be a leader and just be a really good person.
Yeah. Would you guys give these leaders a hand? Yeah, I think thinking to last service and even this service, I think a common theme is you get out of it what you put into it. All of these leaders have spent numerous hours a week putting in work into this ministry, and to be able to be on the backside of it and see the fruit of it is a pretty special thing. Well, here for me, thank you guys for everything that you do. I'm incredibly proud of all of you, and I'll miss you guys a ton. But thank you for the way you've led. Thank you for the way you've been willing to show up at 8 a.m. and talk in front of a bunch of people, and just everything you guys have done. It's really awesome. So to close this out, if you are an 8th grader, will you come up here to the front? We're going to circle up and we're going to pray over you. So if 8th graders, if you guys will come up here. 8th graders. Okay, and if you're not an 8th grader, come get around the outside of the circle. Put your hand on one of the 8th graders. All right, so I'm going to lead us in a prayer. And you guys pray with me over these 8th graders. Father, thank you for these 8th graders. Thank you for their faith. Thank you for their time here in 6, 7, 8. Father, I pray that as they go off to high school, that it's a smooth transition. I pray that it's a fun time. I pray that they get to enjoy their summer. And Lord, I pray that they continue to grow in their faith over the next 4 years and even into college. Father, thank you for the work that these 8th graders have put into this ministry. Thank you for the impact they've had on me and the other people in the ministry. Father, I pray that you continue to bless their lives. Father, thank you for who you are and everything you're doing. In your name I pray. Amen. All right, you guys are free to go. If you're an 8th grader and staying...